We have the Dream SMP refugees in the Hermitcraft fandom, and those poor people who came from Dream SMP staring at this plotline, just, oh, no,
Think I've seen
no, not again.
And I didn't
Not
like
again.
the ending. Sing to me, Calliope, muse of epic poetry, and tell me the story of Exile, of the bleeding permits upon the shopping district, which dance through the world and sharpen the blades. Sing of the lost ones, which have been hurtled past the void in their multitudes in the shops, that they sneak along the way. Welcome to FanDive. My name is Chaos.
I'm Indy.
And today we're doing something that threatens to be outdated within the time of us finishing recording, and that is talking about the permit exiles.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to stay updated on this one, just due to that frequency. I think Jevin has been posting daily at this point.
At this point, yeah, I'm like, okay, I need to record a TikTok, and then within the minute of me uploading the TikTok, Jevin will upload something. I'm like, well, now I'm out of date, so us doing a podcast and like having to take multiple days to edit this, it bound something's gonna go wrong.
Yeah, it's kind of risky. It's like, we do discuss our topics beforehand, but after I knew the topic, I looked up the videos most recently. It's like 1 hour ago, 53 seconds ago, and I'm watching those quickly to prepare for this.
As of recording, the most recent upload is Azuma Void figuring out that there are loopholes, how to get to and from exile without actually being exiled. And a couple people have figured this out already.
Yeah, Cleo and Joe were using it to torment Doc specifically.
And it's funny because they were
confused Doc.
They were using Doc's technology too.
Yeah, but okay, so in Doc's perspective, he does just have this. What is happening? Are you just from up high? What are you doing? What exploit are you using? And then when he's done finishing cuts there, goes to the next, like, did I convince you good? I don't believe that he was lying.
Did I do good?
He's saying he knew the whole time, but he doesn't, because I've seen the other perspectives, and at least one of the things he still doesn't know for certain. Context to all of this. Yeah, Hermitcraft moved the spawn, world spawn.
We always forget about that. We're
exiled.
supposed to explain our topic.
So Hermitcraft's world spawn has been put 30 million blocks.
Well, we need to go further back than that. So there's this permit system, right?
Okay.
And they always like to do something new with the shopping district every season. And this season, Cub and Grian got together and went, let's make a system of permits. You have to have a permit in order to sell something. But due to there only being one permit per item, if you don't sell something, then that thing is not available. So what happens when people stop selling things? You get exiled.
Well, okay, so it wasn't that at first. They had a whole thing, like, it was step by step. It took months at a time, because at first it was, well, it's fine, we'll just give them warning. And then eventually the people getting warnings were like, okay, but realistically,
what can you do?
What are you going to do?
And then Doc rediscovered the farlands.
He built a quantum pig that both exists and doesn't in the border of the world and also in this spot in the nether. And if you get on the pig and hit the thing, you get launched 30 million blocks away.
As you do.
To the world. I can't speak. Chaos,
world
finish my sentence.
Border.
Yeah, that one.
And I feel like when it first happened, Doc was talking about how they're actually outside of the world border. And then that got changed because the update happened and they were expanding the world, and they also had to move it so when they did do Exile, they could move spawn to a place within the world border.
Mm-hmm. So eventually the punishment did become, we're going to come to your house, we're going to kill you, and you'll respawn. Not with civilization. Good luck. Have fun out there.
And this is going about as well as you would assume, because very quickly the Permit Enforcement Agency is becoming a little bit corrupt in their power, just a tad though, and they're going after people who are compliant with their permits. And then people who are being exiled or are watching people get exiled are going, I don't like that.
Well, so far, the only 3 people who have actually been exiled by the permit office itself, not counting the visitors, has been specifically Jevin, who was the first to get kicked out because he was basically the leader of the I hate permits, the NoPo. And then following that, Cleo and Rendog were like, hey, that's not right, and tried to kill the permit officers and employees.
But then they decided to exile them, and Green had to go fly away to just see, is there anything we can do to justify exiling them? It was like backwards logic. And then they started attacking Joe Hills and Vintage Beef, who are both within their permit, like they've done everything. And yes, they didn't technically get exiled. They both had spawns reset. But they're actively talking about we should exile them, even though they shouldn't qualify for being exiled right now, just because they're part of the NoPo.
Yeah, and I have a personal theory that by the end of this, we're just moving to a completely... Everyone's going to end up exiled. We're going to get like 2/3 of the server, and the remaining third is going to go, well, okay, and move themselves
Doc's
there.
prophecy of it's the goat's world, you're just living in it. He wants everyone to get exiled so he can have the main base.
That is Doc's desire, and I feel like valid. Let him do that. Let him do that. Let him destroy his own land.
Do you remember?
Get tired of Stand eventually.
I think it was season 6. Do you remember when they made New Hermiton, which they had to they were updating the server and they all had to leave the spawn chunks in order for it to be updated, and they made a new base way out in the distance, and they called it New Hermiton because New Hermiton was season 2, so New Hermiton was season 6, right?
Yeah, and now we have New Hermiton.
Yes, but during season 6, most people lived out there for a while. They had their tallest base competition and then came back, with the exception of, I think, 1 or 2 hermits who literally stayed out there for the rest of the season.
Yeah. I firmly believe it's going to end something like that. Or it's just going to be like, hey, we're going to stay out here. What if we build a second world launcher and go to the other end of the world? And this is the new season. You could also transition to the new season that way, but I don't think so. I think we are literally just going to end up exiling half or more of the server.
I feel like
how it goes to head frequently.
I don't know, because on the one hand, a lot of hermits talked about not wanting to do mega bases this season, but on the other, there's still very clearly ongoing projects that the hermits have talked about. They're not close to finishing yet. So, what about Skiz, who hasn't finished his pyramid? What happens when he gets exiled? Is that gone? Is that out of the picture now?
So, yeah, that's kind of why I think we're going to be able to get back eventually. I feel like eventually, the same way we do the arc with King Ren in season 9, you end up having okay, let's schedule a finale for this, and then toss everything back to normal. Sounds good? Sounds good.
Sounds good. And then I've also seen a lot of people talking about the fact that, it's weird Grian's on, the officer side for once. Grian's normally the resistance. Grian literally gave the, are we the baddies speech? And it was only, lasting for 5 seconds, but he is legit starting to question what side he's on.
No, I see Grian doing it anyway. Sure, yeah, resistance. He loves being a part of a resistance. But more than that, he enjoys tormenting others.
He enjoys causing a laugh. Him and Doc might finally be on the same side for something, because Doc is one of those people who was trying to set up, let's sell things to the people in exile, but he's doing it in such a way that he is forcing them to mine for sand in order to get very fundamental basic things in late game Minecraft. And he's literally saying, I'm doing this to make them suffer. He enjoys watching the exiled permits, or hermits suffer.
I don't think so. I refute. Those two don't end up on the same side. Doc is going to get on the side. Aya pointed his way. Just already, he has multiple illegal operations.
I love when Cub, was it Cub or it might have been Scar, said, you're a part of, like, you're connected to every crime on this server somehow. You're just in the police office sipping tea about the crimes you've just committed.
Yeah. Yeah, it happens.
It just...
But I love the way that the Permanent Office phrased it, because they are doing a lot more work now in this recent week or two. I don't know how long it's been. Probably shorter than that, to be honest. But
it's been like since this last weekend, because it started when I was away at Comic-Con.
Imagine going to conventions. Imagine fans going to conventions. Who can imagine? Sorry. They described it as we work 24/7, 24 minutes a day, 7 days a year.
You've maxed that out, my dude.
Yeah, no, they maxed that out in the last week. And here's the problem, Chaos. The Permit Office works really, really well 1 day a year.
On April Fool's
Do you remember what day that is?
That's coming up, though.
And that's coming up. And I'm kind of scared, because if this is what the Permit Office is doing now, what's April Fool's gonna look like?
Well, there was... Okay, someone did bring this up. Streamers, Gamers Outreach, or whatever that group is called, the people who they did the charity event for last year, or last streamer, you know what I'm talking about. The big thing where they make the gaming cards for the children in hospitals, because that's important, right? That event's coming up again in April, and they've already said, hey, the Hermits are not going to be at the event in person, but they are still participating somehow.
Yeah.
So,
and
if that's like mid to late April, and then April Fool's Day is the day where the Permit Enforcement Agency actually works, do you think that's going to connect? Do you think they're going to find a way to wrap this up before the big charity stream? Because they have a charity area on the server they've already talked about going back to.
I will say, I don't think they're connected. Mostly because we do have, in Hermitcraft, a storyline versus IRL. They do cross over at points, but this is a very storyline thing, and typically for charity events, they drop all of the characters for a minute.
Yeah, but they still need to get the Exile permits back to main spawn.
We have multiple admins on the server.
Shush. They have to walk. They want to get there. They have to walk.
They could also just do the charity thing in Exile.
That is also true. Everyone has to get exiled for the charity event. I'm sorry.
But aren't they like, oh no, hold on. Just had a thought. World Spawn is Exile right now. Don't we have special guests joining us for that?
Yeah, they usually do.
Yeah, I believe Jimmy, and I assume Martin as well, but we'll see. I don't know for certain.
The guest stars have to also get exiled. I'm sorry, it's a 20-hour Elytra flight.
They're joining! If they're joining...
They're joining to Exile.
Spawn at World Spawn?
Yeah.
Aren't they gonna... Yeah, so it's just... Just teleport them over. Oh, speaking of Exile, because this is slightly off topic, and so I'm bringing us slightly more on topic again. Don't you love Sal?
I love Sal. I love that Sal has merch now.
Why does Sal have merch now? It's been a week!
Yeah, Jevin was quick about it. So, Jevin, one of the first people exiled, went a little insane very, very quickly. And, found a fish head, named it Sal, and it has become the god of the exiled. And you must worship Sal every night before you sleep, according to Rendog, of course, obviously, who has since tried...
That's just a Rendog thing. That's not even a
Ren has also tried to eat Sal, so, maybe we just ignore that.
And that was actually Mon, I believe, because we have Salmon. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, as many of you know, I got into MCYT community content through Dream SMP, specifically through Tommy's Exile, and one of my mutuals was like comparing the Jevin skin to the Tommy skin and went, I've seen this before, and I didn't like the ending.
No, I've seen that too. I've seen some stuff too that are like, oh my god,
we're here again. I wonder what base off in the distance Jevin's gonna stumble upon and find home and community with.
we have the Dream SMP refugees in the Hermitcraft fandom. Um, and those poor people who came from Dream SMP staring at this plot line, just, oh, no,
Think I've seen it,
no, not again.
and I didn't
Not
like
again.
the ending. It always circles back. I feel like
It
every
does.
SMP has to have an exile arc. It is like one of the fundamental basics of Minecraft.
It is. If you're doing storyline in Minecraft, there's only so many punishments you can do when, like, respawn is a thing. And you have people like Doc in your worlds that just are insane, find different exploits and stuff. Any punishment is rather difficult, I'll say.
And the
They
solution
should have
is
found something for Doc.
exile.
Skyblock for Doc. As his
Skyblock
punishment
for
was
Doc.
just
Yeah,
mini exile.
Okay, I know this is not at all about exile, but like the fact that Doc got back at B-dubs for the second round of being skyblocked jailed, with the wardens escaping, and then the wardens escaped way too much. But it was probably fine.
Probably fine.
It was probably fine.
It's fine.
I just, maybe
But
I know it'd be very hard to exile Doc, but hear me out. Exile Doc?
I want everyone exiled except for Doc. That's why he ends up exiled anyway. He just has all of the riches and no friends. Haha, make him learn his lesson.
Yeah, well, with the multiple shopping and shipping companies popping up in Exile, with Joe Hill's Express Delivery, Azuma Void's, I don't even know what he's selling, but he's selling something, and now Doc's like, I will give you shulkers for sand, give me sand.
Yeah, so part of the difficulty with Exile is you have to restart everything. All of your supplies, you don't have them, you have to die to get there, supposedly. But they quickly went, maybe, but also, if you toss an ender pearl through the end portal, you go through without dying and will go to the world spawn rather than your bed. And then if you die, you go to your bed. And so Joe Hills and Exuma Void have both used this to bring things to the exiled people. Joe Hills was doing it for free, mostly to confuse Doc and help Cleo, because, yeah.
You have to take things to the logical extreme.
And Exuma is doing it because, Exile would be fun, but then I go home at the end of the day.
Azuma's doing it for the experience.
Yeah, he is. And he is setting up a shop. I don't think he did say what he's going to be selling, except for, like, whatever they want. I have a whole storage at home, so whatever they want. And he's not selling it for diamonds or sand, the way that Doc is selling everything for sand. He's selling it for experiences and humor.
Yeah, he wants shenanigans. The cost of his objects is cause problems on purpose, please.
Yeah, which is funny because there's 3 of them out there.
All 3. He wants a prank war between all 3 of them. I mean, to be fair, with Jevin and Cleo out there, that won't take very long.
No, it won't. I think Joe Hills genuinely is one of my favorite perspectives of this plotline, mostly because his entire thing for this is he doesn't care about the permits. He doesn't care about the rules or exile or any of that. He does care about Cleo, but that's always.
He wants more Permit Master.
He wants more Permit Master. He wants that game again. They made a mini game based off of the show Taskmaster in order to distribute permits. And he wants more of that.
More
actually. He wants more of that. That's all he wants. That's his demands.
It's either Permit Master or no permits. Those are the only options.
That is his perspective. And in the meeting that the NoPo and the permit people had in that meeting, stated the demands, and it was Joe's turn, and Joe stated his demand, and that was the only one that they were like, yeah, actually,
we can do that.
That one's reasonable.
We can do that, yeah.
That one we're okay with. The rest of these, I don't know how I feel about this, but Permit Master, we also agree. We did like Permit Master.
Yeah, I think they did hand out one permit to Azuma just for free because he already had that, like, trial chamber shop set up. But other than that, there's still, like, there's so many going around. And with Doc selling the pale oak illegally, they gotta get that permit handed out somewhere.
Etho has been selling rockets illegally for, I believe, months at this point.
Shady Ease has been selling them illegally, not EFO.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's a few illegal shops going on, but that's how it is. And one of the things that fans keep bringing up in the comments of like many of these videos, hey, do you remember False Symmetry? Do you
False
remember
has
False
the
Symmetry
wild card.
Has a wild permit which she can choose to sell whatever she wants. And I've seen many things. She should sell permits with her permit.
I mean,
And other such ideas.
what's stopping that?
Nothing, except for the fact that she's just biding her time. She's done nothing with it for as long as she's had it. She's biding her time.
Yeah.
For all we know, it never gets used.
Yeah, I feel like Balls hasn't really had any interest in the permits. Like, she seems very happy with her shops and not too interested in, like, going overboard with them. So maybe the wild card will never get used. But also, it does present a really good opportunity to say, let's throw absolute mayhem in the mix.
Yeah, like, they tend to escalate things. That's how these storylines go, is they go, idea, escalation, 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 oop, explosion. And storyline's done now.
Yeah.
That's how it almost always goes with the Hermitcraft server. And so I could see it being like a late storyline thing where they just go, hey, we are now selling permits. You want a permit? Buy a permit. Any permit. Go.
Go. Yeah. This is a little bit off topic, but I do wonder how they're going to react to Joel Smallish B and saying, well, no one really cares about the permits anymore. And because Joel literally built a fake Purpur shop in the midst of that Purpur war with Pearl.
Yeah, that's also another one of the illegal shops right now, is Joel has a Purpur shop.
I mean, it's like not really in the shopping district. Actually, you know what? If they build, it is. I guess. For some reason, I'm imagining it directly above Pearl's base. No, that was something else.
No. Joel's Purpur shop is next to Pearl's Purpur shop.
Okay.
In the shopping district.
What was built above Pearl's base that I'm imagining now?
One of the Purpur monsters?
Probably.
Oh, well, he built a sign that says shop at spawn.
There we go. That's what I'm thinking of.
They've gone back and forth, but that's like...
Since we've already discussed, okay, that shops being set up in Exile are technically, like, not... They don't have to follow the permit rules, right? Because it's Exile. It's a land without permits. My question is, where does that line fade? Where do the permits become no longer applicable? If a person sets up a shop in their base, does that follow the permit rules of the shopping district? Because their base isn't in the shopping district unless you count Corvallis.
I would say yes, because, and I'm going to sound like a real nerd here, during the second court case that they held, they did bring up the dealings between, I believe it was B-Dubs and Joe. There was a particular deal made where it was like, we're trading you this... No, it was XB and someone else. Because it was Prismarine selling Prismarine without a permit at the base just because, hey, I'll pay for this because I need the supply. That was not a shop. That was just a transaction. No particular place of importance. During that second thing, they almost got punished for... You sold this without a permit, even if it wasn't at a shop. They ended up saying it wasn't a violation due to the fact that they didn't accept the diamonds, they accepted other payment. If we are challenging even that, then it does not have to do with the location. I think Exile doesn't count where you can't break the rules there, because... Hey, if we break the rules here, what are you gonna do? Exile us?
That's fair. Exile doesn't count because it is the punishment location.
So what are you gonna do? Exile us?
I'm sure everything's fine. But how far, real question, how far does someone in Exile have to travel from New Spawn until they have to follow the rules again?
I say anything over 1 million.
Yeah.
No, sorry. Let me clarify. Anything over 1 million away from original spawn, nobody's gonna bother.
Yeah, that's so fair. That's so fair.
They get tired, okay? They're just tired. They don't want to work. That was the whole reason that the permit office was as bad as it was, is because Green just didn't want to work.
Oy
Which is funny considering the weight's on, but you know.
Da, da, da. Da, 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 da,
We didn't even describe the, what's it called, the comfort room.
Oh no. See, to me, I have described the comfort room of, oh yeah, Scar's inflicting medical trauma onto everyone else on the server.
Yeah! Oh, good. I've seen at least a couple of things. There was a hermit, I'm not remembering which video, but there was a hermit that was like, this looks like a mental asylum. Must have been Doc.
It was Doc.
This looks like a mental asylum. What is this place? And I've seen like a video, a fan fiction that was just this looks like a hospital. Like a really crappy hospital. The off-white but pure white walls staring at you. The voice overhead of Scar, Good Times with Scars narrating, "You are good. You are wonderful. You are compliant. You are what? Creepy.
No, not great.
Everybody hates it. Everybody hates it.
But you know Scar's drawing from experience here.
The poor guy just went, I'm gonna make sure everybody knows the trauma of the faux comforting voice.
And meanwhile,
This
dude,
is
the
terrible.
fact that all this is going down and it's like you're constantly getting POV after POV of people going insane in Exile, and then just randomly it's like, yeah, Impulse uploaded a video, he's working on his city, look at the squid he just moved. I'm like, wait, one person here is not on track with everyone else.
It's not just one person. Joel, I don't think that Joel mentioned most of it,
Oh, yeah.
aside from the off comment of, hey, yeah, they don't care about that
Okay.
anymore.
Yeah,
Like an
Joel
Exile, look
and
at my bed over
Pearl,
here.
they're in their own storyline.
Yeah, they're doing their own thing over there. So we do have hermits that are just like, I don't care about it. Let me just make sure my bed is secure so I don't accidentally exile myself.
Yeah, and I know that hermits have to like opt into storyline, so it does make me wonder if like all the hermits who don't want to get involved in the permanent exile nonsense, like I assume they're not also getting exiled because that's not a storyline they're involved in.
They're probably not going to unless we do have that kind of like
Server
plotline of
reset
everyone except
moment,
for
yeah.
one.
That's why I kind of,
Yeah, if
it's
we're
kind
having-
of not feeling like that's the path they're going down though. I feel like at some point the hermits are returning.
Yeah. So the ones who don't want to be involved are probably just being reminded, make sure your bed is set and that you've slept in it so that you don't accidentally become part of this storyline.
Mm-hmm.
And it is possible it's actually quite likely somebody's gonna accidentally stumble upon it. I say Scar.
Yeah, I could see Scar. I could also see B-Dubs with how often he places down and breaks his bed, but he has been warned not to
Yeah.
do that. I feel like he's gonna forget though.
He is, because he's been doing it several seasons. It's a habit.
It's a
He's gonna... What happens? Ooh! New proposal. What happens if there is a court case and your judge is exiled?
Ooh. I guess you have to have the court case in exile, and then once the court case is over, be Enderpearl Stasis Chamber back to your home.
Okay.
Wait, okay. I don't know how common this is a thing around the world, but like when you do jury duty, it's not uncommon for the jurors to get compensation for having to do jury duty because, you know, it's gas money, it's taking time off of work, it's whatever. A lot of states have started doing this thing where they're start compensating people for jury duty. And it's just like, it's so funny. It's like, yeah, if you come to do the court case in exile, we'll pay you. Yep. Here's your transportation reimbursement.
We're making up hypothetical plot lines at
We're
this
making
point.
up hypothetical plot.
still, there's a lot of potential that comes with some of the server being inaccessible, hypothetically, and the rest being over here living in semi-fear. Because
this has only just started, but I imagine so much good fan fiction coming out of this. I am incredibly excited.
It's great. It's great.
It's
not even a handful.
And I am loving, there's been more Jevin fanfictions coming out recently. So excited.
Oh, that man doesn't have enough.
He needs more fanfictions. We also, hey, heads up, we got a request. We got a request for a part 2 on our favorite fanfictions. So, like, start reading them again.
I never stop.
Start again. Refresh, go to the top, page 1 of AO3 Hermitcraft fanfiction, and start going through all 5,000 pages.
Hold on. I have it bookmarked with my preset. I don't want to see explicit things.
I never close that tab on my phone.
We have Hell's an EX thing.
Ooh, yeah, okay. They're not involved in Exile, so we can't really bring it up right now, but like... Yeah.
On it.
Mm-hmm.
Really hoping for the top one to be Exile related. I start reading it out loud to you. That's the next 20 minutes of this is me narrating. Whatever.
Dude, we're already over 30 minutes. We need to do the Q&A.
Q&A! Q&A!
I actually was asking the friends I was with at Comic-Con for some questions for when I got back, and so I'm just gonna, shout out to Chaotic Saturn and Cam Lee and Ollie from Orbit for the questions we're about to answer. Question number 1 is from Chaotic Saturn. What Minecraft block/item that is not already food would you like to eat?
Moss.
Please don't eat moss.
Moss.
Well, okay, I do... There's a period of time where I had this bit where I would eat Totems of Undying, and I joked about the crunch. And, like, I don't think I would take that back, because it was insanely funny.
I want mossy cobblestone or just moss. Mossy cobblestone has a nicer crunch to it, but...
I feel like it would really depend on if I could survive this or not, but magma blocks, I feel like it would feel like eating spicy Doritos, No. Correct yourself.
Magma cream.
I'm not eating magma cream, no.
Sauce. Hot sauce.
I'm imagining magma cream as kind of like a cream pie feeling texture, and like eating something that texture that's like hot, spicy, and savory when I like feel like I should be eating pie, no thank you.
No, I think it could be a good hot sauce. What if it was slightly sour, not spicy? Dip your stuff in it.
I guess. Oh, wait. Have you ever had... They're not fries, but they're kind of like fries. They're almost like, I guess the closest comparison is like a funnel cake texture, where it's like you're clearly eating something that's like a fried dough, but it's kind of hollow on the inside. That's what I imagine eating Minecraft Coral fans is like.
Churro?
No, churro is soft and yummy on the inside.
Okay, well, you never gave me a name of
I don't know what it's called.
What is it?
It's like you're eating a funnel cake that's kind of been overcooked, and so it's like there's very much like a shell of fried dough, but the inside is hollow.
All I'm picturing is a churro. I don't know.
It's not a churro. Have you ever had funnel cake?
No.
Okay, fix that.
Well, we're working on it. Next Ren Fair, I suppose.
Next Ren Fair, I'm breaking into your house, trading TCG cards, and feeding you funnel cake and ice cream cake. No, ice cream sandwiches.
All of my TCG cards came from you, Chaos.
And I'll just trade with myself then.
You can't trade with me. All of them came from you.
Well, next question is from Ollie from Orbit. Favorite headcanon about the Hermits?
I know we had an episode about this. I think we had an episode about this.
We probably did.
I really love the hybrid hermits. Like, giving them different little animal traits, having horns and stuff, and, like, just literally, Zed's a goat.
Zed's a goat. That is, I love hybrid headcanons. Oh my god, wait. You know how Joe Hills is a Juppet this season, but in no previous seasons? Mm-hmm. I don't even remember who it was by. Once upon a time, I saw an artist who was drawing that, like, Juppet, the
I
Joe
know what you're
Hill's
talking about. Wait,
puppet,
hold on.
is a thing, but it drags the Joe Hill body like unconscious without a soul around with it, and I cannot get that image out of my head.
It's how I picture him all the time.
Yeah, it's like,
And
yeah,
it's
there's
so
just this Juppet being waved around by an arm, but the arm is attached to an unconscious body just flopped on the floor. That is my favorite headcanon.
Currently, valid. So valid.
I mean,
There's probably more to come up with if I thought about it for longer, but I love it. I love giving the characters wings.
I love wings. I'm such a sucker for wing character. Like, even just all the different variety of wings, like not just bird wings, but then you get insect wings and then mechanical wings, and it's so good.
Bat wings, of course.
Bat wings. I love bat wings. Oh, wait. I gotta say, I do really love the headcanon of Evil Azuma Void is some sort of, I guess it's not really headcanon because it's kind of been joked about in canon, but a twin clone evil alternative version. Like, technically speaking, he just kind of showed up and referred to Azuma as his double. But, like, what if they're brothers? What if they're evil clones? What if, like, I love all the different variations between their dynamics.
More than I love a specific headcanon, I like seeing what people do with unspecified reality.
Yeah.
And the variety that you can find.
I just like
wings.
Fandom headcanons. Yeah, I think that.
This is one that I like.
I think that's the answer to my question.
Can't read. Grian can't read.
Oh, that's... Grian doesn't have eyeballs. That's a good one.
Nope, not a headcanon. He did confirm that.
But he said that was a joke.
He also then repeated it and didn't say it was a joke. He's repeated it now a few times. It was just like, yeah, there's nothing. They're just voids. There's holes in my head. Beatup's described it as like an electrical outlet.
Yeah, that's fair. He does kind of look like a thing you would put a charging socket
No,
into.
he looks like a codfish.
He also looks... I had to explain that to someone once. I feel like I already complained about that. We should move on to question number 3. Question number 3, this is from Cam Lee. If you were put into a life series seasons, what one would you want it to be, and who would you team with?
Honestly, I'm going with my... Well, no, that's a problem. I just contradicted myself in my own head. Either Double Life or what? No, not Wildlife. Wildlife has the dice. The one where it's Secret Life.
Secret Life, yeah.
So Double Life and Secret Life were my favorite seasons. Double Life just has a special place in my heart.
Dude, Double Life, but we would have to bring in a new person to be our soulmate. Like, imagine me and Lizzie.
Yeah.
We would die so quickly.
I'm not going to pick who my partner is, because I think if I had to be in any season, just drop me in Double Life, give me a partner, and say, figure it out.
Figure it out.
I love it when you have unlikely pairings, or ones that are just completely up to fate itself. Just go, good luck.
When Tango and Jimmy got paired together, I'm like, this is the weirdest combination, and it worked so well.
It did. The ranchers. Oh, the ranchers still love each other. It
really does show that the group of the Life series was picked out so perfectly, and they can vibe together so well, even with the most random of team ups. And yeah, people are always going to default to their closest friends, but like when you randomly get assigned someone, it still works.
It does, because these are entertainers at heart. Creators.
Yeah. They're creators. So those are the 3 questions I have to say. I do have one last note, and this is a personal thing. I finally figured out my favorite Pokemon. For the longest time, like I didn't really care about Pokemon. I stopped playing eons ago, and I'm like, you know what? No, let's actually like look things up. So it's in between 3 that I absolutely adore: Duskull, Drifloon, and Silcoon. And when I was at Comic-Con, I found a person making, like, embroidered Pokemon pins. They had, like, a gazillion. And I'm like, hey, do you happen to have a Silcoon? Because I have a Duskull plush, and it looks adorable, but a Silcoon plush looks disgusting. And I'm like, do you happen to have one in, like, the original pixelated style? And they're like, no, but I can make you one. Come back tomorrow. And I have it, and it looks so cute.
Oh my goodness, props to the artist.
Props to the artist. I think I like literally already put their whatchamacallit, their thing into my journal, so I don't have it with me, but I'll definitely put it on the Tumblr. And I'm like, yes, it's so pretty.
Good. Do it. Promote your artist.
Promote your artist.
Everybody support small artists.
Woo! Okay, I think we're good.
Yeah?
Yeah, okay, bye.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to this episode of FanDive. We'll be back again next Monday diving into yet another fandom. Have a topic you would like us to cover? Head over to our website, fandive.tumblr.com. There you can also find any episode relevant images and general shenanigans that we get up to. It is Tumblr after all. We're not ashamed of being fans of things.